In 1994, Robert Redford made a movie that I absolutely enjoy watching, have seen it multiple times, Quiz Show, which gives an account of Charles Van Duren, a Columbia professor who got on the quiz show 21. It was rigged. He made all kinds of money, became kind of a national celebrity as a result. And then there were congressional hearings about if quiz shows were on the up and up. Okay. He had compromised his own integrity and intelligence. His father, of course, being a famous professor, literary expert. And now he has to testify before Congress.
I would give almost anything I have to reverse the course of my life in the last year. The past doesn't change for anyone.
So just how serious is it?
I was involved, deeply involved in a deception. I have deceived my friends, and I had millions of them. I lied to the American people. I lied about what I knew, and then I lied about what I did not know.
Oh, wait. Isn't this what Mark Zuckerberg is doing today?
Let's get ready to rumble! You can't handle the truth! Somebody to the top of the line!
Hi, I'm Pastor Marty, and this is the Afternoon Drive. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Once you are, smack the bell, click the word all. That will give you notification of my rants, my ravings, my undeniably flawless reasonings. Please like and share this video. That's the only way that we get the word out that we're here. Thank you so much for watching and being a part of the Afternoon Drive. So Charles Van Duren, of course, in the movie adaptation, gives this rather lengthy, wrenching, self-serving apology. I've hurt millions of my friends, the American people. I have compromised myself, and I promise you, I was like a child that was hoping it would just go away, but the only way it can go away is if I come forward now and tell the truth. And immediately, one congressman after another begins to tell him what a wonderful thing it is that he has come forth and told the truth. Now, this is 2 years into the process.
Mr. Van Dorn, I just want to add my kudos. I have listened to many witnesses in both civil and criminal matters, and yours is the most soul-searching confession I think I've heard in a long time.
Thank you, sir.
But there was one person there from New York who just wasn't buying it.
I'm also from New York, a different part of New York. I'm happy that you made the statement, but I cannot agree with most of my colleagues. See, I don't think an adult of your intelligence ought to be commended for simply, at long last, telling the truth.
Exactly. Exactly. You're not a stupid man. You're not a know-nothing. You have this incredible intellect. You're supposed to have some integrity. Tell the truth. Mark Zuckerberg has presented Jim Jordan in Congress with a rather lengthy, detailed letter that he's sorry, that he shouldn't have allowed the Biden administration, the Biden White House, to censor Facebook during the pandemic, to censor Instagram, and I forget what the other application that Zuckerberg is in charge of. His whole media company is now called Meta. It's still Facebook, just like X is still Twitter. Sorry, Elon. But he comes out with this letter and he says that the White House pressured him about not just going after quote unquote disinformation, but even just people's passing comments, their frustrations, their criticisms, their satirical memes. You know, if you remember back during the height of the scamdemic, I mean, it was like the secret police was listening. And you could get in trouble with the thought police for just cracking a joke or something, that asking an obvious question. Why is fresh air bad? You know, just simple little things, and right away you could be hit with a strike depending on the social media platform. And now Zuckerberg said if he had it to do all over again, he would be more vocal against it. Wait, more vocal? You weren't vocal at all against it. In fact, during the scamdemic, when you were brought before Congress and Republicans were trying to get answers out of you, you were obfuscating, you were stalling, you were in some type of denial. And then he talks about suppressing the Hunter laptop. That, well, because we were running it through fact check and we couldn't verify everything, we suppressed anything about it, and that was probably the wrong thing to do. You think? You think? And you've got all these people today, even conservative pundits. Well, he finally stuck up for free speech. No. He's made a confession to a crime. Now, did he do this because he wants to do the right thing? Did he do this because he's trying to get ahead of a whistleblower? Did he do this because he works in a world with algorithms and stats and data? Does he know who the next president's going to be? And he wants to get in good with the, shall we say, non-Camilla administration, the non-Biden administration? But you got all these pundits and people saying, Zuckerberg, he's come out, he said this. We all knew it. By the way, understand what he's doing. Number one, he is saying that the White House tried to suppress the First Amendment. Number two, he is saying he did suppress the First Amendment. And by admitting that he pulled and censored and removed and edited and deplatformed anyone that talked about the Hunter laptop, that's election influencing, election interference. Now, of course, we know he will ultimately be held accountable, as far as there'll be no repercussion for this. But see, this goes back to these social media platforms. Are they utilities or are they publishers? And, you know, this bit where they want to, on the one hand, hey, we can't be sued by the federal government for what any of the people on here say. We're not the content creators. We're just the host. But yet, they in turn censor and censor and censor. I can't tell you how many posts I've had removed from Facebook and going into Facebook jail. And even now, I do a Facebook page for a radio station. And if I put in a post the direct link from that post to the radio station website, I get smacked by Facebook for taking people to, I'm violating a community standard of misdirecting people to content not related to my Facebook page. The Facebook page is for the radio station. The link takes them to the website for the radio station. What violation am I in here? And here's the thing, I have protested all of these. And every once in a while, I'll get an override. And I get that little message to me, yes, our AI is still learning, and you're right, this shouldn't have been pulled. And then the next day, a new one gets pulled. And most of the time, it never gets reinstated. I never hear back. So I've had to not post links on my Facebook page or my radio station Facebook page to my radio station website. Now that's the kiddie stuff. Even here on YouTube, I still really don't talk about the pandemic. Because just every time I go into detail about anything, I get removed and I get a strike. So I don't talk about it. Oh, Pastor Marty, that they've lightened up on all of that. Really? Because I posted something about 2 months ago and got spanked. So I'm letting everybody else deal with that subject matter. I stay away from it. I stay away from it. Stay away from it. But you've got Zuckerberg saying that, yeah, we should have been questioning things. We should have been allowing people to question things. Zuckerberg sees the writing on the wall. RFK Jr. endorsing Trump, this is big. Or let me say it in Trumpianism. It's huge. It's huge. See, because I think this is given permission to people who absolutely know Kamala will be an absolute danger in the Oval Office. You know how she likes to do that girl boss thing where, like she did to Mike Pence, excuse me, I'm talking. Like she, talked down the protesters at her rally. Excuse me, this is my event. I'm talking. That's how she's going to be president. Can you imagine her pulling that in a room with a foreign leader, in particular of a Muslim country that already thinks women are lower than dirt, and she pulls that little stunt with him? Excuse me, I'm talking. I'm the president of the United States. Oh, that's going to go over well. But there were all kinds of reports before the media christened her and coronated her and said she's a brat mom, she's cool, she's awesome. They were years talking about everybody in Washington hated her. She's had a 95% turnover of her staff. Nobody wants to work for her because she's a miserable itch. And now all of a sudden she's the it girl. But even the media is starting to grow weary that she will not talk to them. And she's trying to weasel out of the debate with Donald Trump because she's going to get her clock clean. Because believe it or not, she says more incoherent stupidity than Joe Biden. Joe Biden at least has his age and mental decline as an excuse. She thinks she's being brilliant and smart when she says these things because she talks in her own head. She's like the kid that in his head, when he's in the driveway playing basketball against no one and making these incredible shots, and in his head, he's got the game going. And then when he actually goes to the gym and has to play against other kids, it isn't that he's bad. It's just he just doesn't do a lot. He doesn't even really take a shot. As soon as he gets the ball, he's looking for somebody else to pass it off to. So he's what I call an in-your-head driveway basketball player. He's fine if he's by himself and in his own head. Put him in the real deal, can't do it. Just can't do it. Kamala lives in her own head. She thinks she's brilliant. She doesn't connect with real people. And she doesn't want to debate Trump because now the fear factor is setting in. Wait a minute. He debated Biden. That was the end of Biden's political career. What about me? And I think with RFK Jr. coming on board, look, yesterday, Tulsi Gabbard endorsed him. Now, we knew that was coming, but again, that's huge. And I guarantee you that influences women in a demographic that Trump needs to reach. Especially if we find out that in his administration, Tulsi gets, some really good cabinet position. Make her Secretary of State. Who's next? I mean, Elon's already endorsed. What about Zuckerberg? Would Zuckerberg endorse Trump? Bum, ba-dum, bum. Can you imagine if Facebook worked for Trump instead of against? Here he is telling us what we all knew, that he was suppressing information at the behest of the Biden-Harris White House. And think about who Harris has picked as a running mate. Tim Walz, who during the pandemic said, no, you don't have the right to freedom of speech because it leads to misinformation. And this guy is a vice president, a heartbeat away from the White House? Are you kidding me? That alone ought to terrify you.